The failed AOL-Time Warner merger of 2000 was a result of ineffective leadership decision-making. The problem that led to this ineffective decision was the lack of stakeholders that were included in the decision-making process. Fishoff, 2012, reiterates the need for transparency between the decision makers and the experts. Neither Stephen Case of AOL nor Gerald Levin of Time Warner consulted with the experts at their respective companies while they were planning the merger of their companies. As reported in a New York Times interview conducted by Oranga in 2010, the head of government relations at AOL found out about the merger with the rest of the public when the press release occurred. This was an issue because as the head of government relations, this employee was responsible for regulatory clearances provided by Congress and evaluating how such a merger would impact the global economy. By excluding this employee from the decision-making process, not only was the actual merger delayed because none of the necessary paperwork had been filed yet, but the trust that this employee had in his company began to diminish because his role was not seen as important enough to be included in the secret meetings that Case and Levin held. Case and Levin ineffectively used the Vroom-Yetton model of decision-making for leaders. Quote, "When more than one decision-making process may be used for the problem, the feasible set, the manager is free to choose among them." End quote. Field, 1979, page 249. And this is exactly what Case and Levin did. They went awry with the second question of the Vroom-Yetton model as they did not have sufficient information to make high-quality decisions. This was evidenced by the number of executives from both companies that did not approve of the merger once they were informed, and the eventual demise of the merger a few years later. Additionally, the 7 questions that the Vroom-Yetton model uses to conclude the decision-making styles are too directed. Each of these questions could be answered differently based on the respondent. While Case and Levin thought they had all of the information that they needed to answer the questions and make a decision, they confronted very few others for confirmation. Additionally, the decision of merging AOL and Time Warner lacked an analysis of non-task elements, or, defined by CSU 2017, what impacts interpersonal relationships. Post-merger, there were many reports of low morale and culture clashes amongst employees, as both of these companies were so different before the merger, and these differences were not taken into consideration during or after the companies combined. Since a merger is a non-program decision that requires careful consideration, I would have used the rational decision-making model and followed Adair's 2007 5 Steps to Effective Decision-Making. These 5 steps are 1. Define the objective, 2. Collect relevant information, 3. Generate feasible options, 4. Make the decision, and 5. Implement and evaluate. Steps 2 and 3 require extensive communication with key stakeholders and weighing their knowledge and expertise. These steps will be more effective because a step-by-step process eliminates the ability of the decision maker to lose their focus. Additionally, Adair's 2007 model found that the more decisions and the reasoning behind the decisions are shared throughout the whole process, not only were the decisions of a higher quality than decisions that are not shared, but those impacted by the decision are more engaged in implementing because they were involved in the process. To conclude, there are 2 theories discussed by CSU 2017 that support my recommendation. First, the Fiedler contingency model is based on the theory that leadership style and their span of control impacts group performance. The team plays an important role in decision making, and the leader needs to model the type of behavior that the team needs to also reflect. The second theory discussed by CSU 2017 is that of authentic leaders. These are leaders that exude ethical decisions and have an understanding as to whom they are as a person. Authentic leaders empower their followers because they are open and honest with decisions. Authentic leaders include their followers in decision making so that the followers buy into the decision and provide necessary and valuable feedback that is needed for the decision to be effective. The failed AOL Time Warner merger is studied in almost all business classes, and it provides a great framework for how important decision-making theories are. Thank you.